Hello everybody and welcome to a little reading vlog. I thought I'd do the weekly video a little bit more book focused because I'm in a reading mood and there are about 1 million books scattered all around the apartment that are half read. I'm a mood reader first and foremost, and therefore I start 1 million books until I find one that kind of really grabs me, and then I finish that one really quickly, and then I'm left with something like this. And there are a few that I need to take back to the library. So this is the video that I'll use for accountability. Thank you. I already started the week not how I intended because there was no point in me having to buy a new book for this. And yet I couldn't help myself. I've been wanting to read Toni Morrison for the longest time. And I don't know how it happened, but I was at the bookstore and I saw it and I've been wanting to read her in chronological order as well. So I got it, and I have already read 127 pages. I had a big reading day yesterday because it was the end of the week for me, and I was just feeling kind of tired, and it was sunny. It's been beautiful blue sky days here in Sydney, so I kind of find myself on the balcony with my cats reading, and it's been such a delight. So I'm going to finish this, and then we're going to tackle this. And that is all. I'm gonna go read. Not believe that this was the first book she wrote. Gosh. Before I continue on with the video, I thought I'd let you know that I'm starting a book club with my newsletter, and I've picked The Artist's Way, the 12-week program, because selfishly I've been wanting to do it since the beginning of the year and I just haven't committed. I've done it in the past, and I think the missing ingredient is always community and people to do it with, not only for accountability, but for you to be able to, you know, talk about what you're struggling with, what you're enjoying, what your experience has been. So yes, that's what we're doing. I'm going to be sending weekly emails on Sunday, talking about the week just passed, what to expect from the second week, and then there'll be a community thread where we can all talk about it. And if you want to connect with people outside of the newsletter, I'm creating a Discord group as well. And at the end, we'll have a live Zoom call because we need to congratulate each other for committing and finishing it. If you want to join, I'll leave a link in the description box below. This is for paid subscribers, but I've created a 10% off permanently if you subscribe before the starting date of the book club. And if you're deeply cynical like I am, I am deeply cynical, so I have an aversion to things like this. So that's why I feel like it's even more necessary for me to do it with people around me, so that I can get rid of that seriousness and like connect to my silly inner child. If you want to join, as I said, link down below. I'd love to see you there. If not, totally cool. I'll see you around here, maybe. So yeah, that is all. Let's continue reading whatever I'm reading. So I think I spoke too much about the blue skies because today is gray and cloudy and I do not want to sit on my balcony to read. So we're gonna head out. We're gonna go to a cafe, have some coffee, read some books. There are 2 books today that I would love to conquer. One of them I must conquer today because I must return it to the library today, and I think I'll have no problem doing that because it's Max Porter Shy, or Shy by Max Porter. That was a weird way of saying it. Max Porter is one of those authors that whatever he writes, whatever he publishes, I will read. He is such a fantastic, deeply imaginative and peculiar writer who just creates these really strange worlds with these deeply tender characters that just, I don't know. He's very hard to explain. If you've never read any of his books, I highly, highly recommend. So I'm very excited. I have no idea what this one is about. I have kind of learned to go into Max Porter's books just not knowing what's going to happen because it just adds to the experience. Yes, so That's the first one. And the other one I've already started, but this one's everywhere right now, and it is Small Things Like These by Claire Keegan. It is highly praised. So I'll talk about this a little bit more later. I think I just want to sit down in a cozy place and read with no interruptions. That is all. That's all I want. And my notebook. Always bring my notebook. Okay.
At the open bar, trade your company for a smoke or two. Would you pity me if I tell the truth?
It is a sunny winter morning here in Sydney. It is glorious, and hello Jeannie, and I have just finished The Bluest Eye, and I'm embarrassed to say that this is my first time reading this book, and it was exquisite. It was uncomfortable, and Junie. This follows the story of Pekala Breedlove, a poor black girl living in Ohio with her family, and she longs for blue eyes, to have what white people have, which seems to be like ease and love and acceptance. And she believes that if she had blue eyes, she would have this too. And then it delves into the different characters surrounding Pekala, and it has different narrative voices, which just really adds to this novel. I really enjoy the changing perspectives and the changing narratives, and you get an insight of the different traumas that these characters endure and the complexities of racism and identity, gender, class in America. It was fantastic. I bought it yesterday, have finished it today. The point of this video was to finish books that have just been lying around in my house, and yet I couldn't help myself. This was so good, and I'm very excited for all the Toni Morrison to come in my life. So yeah, that was the first read of the week. It was very satisfying and really good, and I think it's actually going to slow me down a little bit, because I haven't been able to pick up the book that I'm meant to be reading, because I'm just feeling a little bit emotional, and like I need to process what I just read and sit with it for at least a moment. So that's what I'm gonna do. Another afternoon, another bit of reading on the balcony. I promise I'm not always here, but can you trust me? I don't know. This is to be best consumed in one deranged little sitting. I did it in two. I wish I had done it in one, because it is short, it is chaotic, it is so fast paced, and it is everything that is good about Max Porter, which is just, you know, taking these characters who are quite troubled and showing them in a very compassionate light. And this follows Shai, who is a 16-year-old boy who lives in this place called The Last Chance, and he has set out to leave The Last Chance with a bag full of rocks to go sink himself into a pond. This is basically a book of Shai's inner monologue, and it shifts between different voices. You have his mother, his therapist, his friends, and it's all very tortured, and it reads as such. That's why it's such a chaotic read. Look, it's not my favorite Max Porter, but I would highly recommend, if you just have a spare couple of hours to sit down and be immersed into a little chaotic journey, which ultimately, ultimately seems like a very optimistic book, even though it's dealing with some heavy topics. Anyway, yes. Okay, on to the next. I'm not sure if I can say it's its polar opposite, but it reads extremely different to Shy. So I'm gonna read this now and I'll let you know what goes on.
We can float along the water from the rivers to the sea. Go and drift away with the tide. We could sweat all through the summer and the winter we could freeze. I'll be there through it all at your side. So go on, leave.
What a perfect book. I don't want to reveal too much because I think the beauty of it is that it's so short and yet incredibly powerful. It starts off being a very subtle, very quiet book. The main character, an ordinary man living in Ireland in the 1800s, and it's set during Christmas time, and it speaks to a larger conversation that was happening in Ireland in the 1800s, and it's just, it's so good. The writing is gorgeous. It is so deeply moving, and I suspect that I'll be thinking about it for a few days or longer than that. Highly recommend. I mean, I feel like everybody has been talking about this book, and it's for a reason. I am now undecided of what to read next. As I said, I have books that I need to finish that I've started, but this is what happens. There are other books that I feel are calling my name. But one of them that I really wanted to finish, that's very yellow, okay. One that I really wanted to finish, and again, the reason I stopped reading these books is not because they were bad or there was anything wrong with them. It's more so, as I said before, I'm a mood reader. Something must have hooked me and pulled me away from all these other books, just because of the mood and the timing and the person that I was back then. But I've been wanting to finish Self-Help by Laurie Moore. What a fantastic collection of short stories. I've been wanting to read that. However, I feel like I've been reading very, very short books lately, and so my friend let me tomorrow. I'm late. I don't think I ever read a book when it comes out. Definitely rarely read really hyped up books, not because, I don't know why. There's no reason for it. They're probably hard to find, expensive, and I kind of like hearing about them once the hype has gone down, and then I know for sure that it is a good book. And I feel like people still talk about this, so. And then the other book that I want to read, I picked up from when I was going on my little walk. And I've never read Oscar Wilde. I was listening to The Rest is History, and they did a two-part episode about the Oscar Wilde trials, and then I saw the book and I was like, well, it's relevant to me right now. So I don't know what to choose from. It's an eclectic mix of books. The other book that I got from the library was this one, I Want to Die But I Want to Eat Tteokbokki. And then I opened it up and I hadn't realized that it was basically transcripts of her and her psychiatrist, and that's basically the whole book. And I'm not sure that I'm equipped. I'm not sure that I have the interest. And this is as a mentally ill person myself. I just don't think that I can do it. But I haven't even tried. So there you go, add it to the pile. Okay. I'm hungry though. I'm gonna eat something first.